Hi, my name's Betty and welcome to another one of my videos. This is my cat Skippy. I'm not sure she's very happy. Anyways, so in this video we're going to just isolate stretching out mainly the hamstrings, the calf muscles, so just more the leg area. So if perhaps you've done a long walk or a run or cycling perhaps, or maybe you've just been sitting for a long time and your legs just feel a bit stiff, a bit heavy, these are just a few little movements that you can do that will hopefully help. So we're going to come into a tabletop position and we're going to step the right leg in between the hands, and then depending on your range of motion, you might want to move the back knee back a little bit, maybe move the front foot a little bit forward, but we're just going to rise up and just come into quite a traditional Anjaneyasana, so a low lunge. So we're allowing the hips to just dip down, we're stretching out that back quad and this front hamstring and the glute area there as well. You want to try to make sure that your front knee is above your front ankle, or maybe just a little bit behind. With the knee going in front of the ankle, you're just kind of dumping your energy. If you like this, your energy is coming towards your knee and then it goes down to your foot, and then you can really ground down through the foot. Whereas if your knee goes in front of your ankle, your foot, it just dumps the energy, and then we will lose some of the intention of the pose. The back foot can be tucked or like this. That just depends on the back knee really, and what feels good for the back knee. I like it to have it just tucked. That kind of helps a little bit with balance as well. But just find what feels good for you, and it might change day to day and it might be different for each leg as well. So one more inhale here, and as you exhale, release the hands, and then we're just going to draw back and come into our half splits pose. So you want the left hip to be over the left knee, so you might need to wriggle that front foot forward, and then you're working towards straightening the front leg. Okay, so if your leg isn't straight and you're working here, that's absolutely fine if you feel sensation. What you want to do is send your intention to your foot. So you want to push the heel down. This is your front foot. Push the heel down and think about flexing the foot and drawing the toes back towards the face. That's really going to switch on that calf muscle. Then work towards straightening the leg. And as you straighten the leg, think about pulling the hip back. So it really doesn't matter if the leg is bent or straight. It's all about your intention of the pose, and your intention is to stretch out that calf muscle, which you do by pushing the heel down, pulling the toes back, and it works, works the same. Take one more inhale here, and as you exhale, come forward. If you wriggled that front foot forward, you might just need to wriggle it back a little bit. We're going to come up into that Anjaneyasana again, that lunge. And then if you want to, you can stay there again. You can bend the back knee and then grab the foot. Maybe grab it with both hands. Maybe just grab it with one. Think about pulling the foot towards the glue. Keep the chest open. So we're adding more of a stretch to that back quad. Excuse me. And release the foot without letting it slap. Whoop. And then your front foot, you're going to walk out to the right side. So right foot comes out to the right side. Keep the heel on the mat, but take the toes off. So you're turning your foot kind of like a 45-degree angle. Your left hand is in line with that front foot, but it's all the way over onto the left side of the mat. So you've got a really nice big space, okay? And then I'm just going to turn the body slightly towards that right knee. Just checking it was my right one. And then you can stay here if this feels really good, or you can bend that back foot again, reach behind with that right hand, grab the foot. And as you do that, really think about opening the chest, and you can pull the foot towards the sitting bones, perhaps push the foot into the hand as well. That will create a nice little stretch. Just take a few breaths here. And then once again, release the back foot. Bring that right hand down. And then step the right foot back. Come back into that tabletop position. And then left leg is going to come forward now. Step the left foot in between the hands. And once again, we're going to come into that traditional Anjaneyasana pose. So you might want to move that back knee back a little bit. Rise up. And then actually on this side, I like my foot untucked. So just explore that. Find what feels good for you. I know that saying it's very famous, but it really rings true. And I think there's just no better way of saying it. You know, that's what yoga really should be about, or any exercise that we do. If it doesn't feel good, then don't do it. I think I know sometimes things that we do feel challenging and perhaps maybe a little hard, but if it doesn't feel good, it feels wrong or it feels painful, then you really need to honor your body and your mind as well, because you're just putting yourself in a bad place physically and mentally if you're constantly putting yourself into that place. Anyways, release the hands down, and then we're going to come into that half splits again. So draw back. Remember that right hip now is over the right knee. So we've got a nice 90 angle. So you might just need to wiggle that front foot forward. And then again, intention. My heel is pressing down into the mat, and I'm really flexing my foot. So I'm trying to bring my toes back to my face, and which is then creating a sensation in that calf. I'm thinking about drawing the hip back in as well, that left hip. And I'm not folding over very far. You can if you've got the range of motion and you want to really come down, but I'm just focusing on that calf. And remember, if that front knee is bent, that's fine. Work with where you are. And especially if you've just been for a really long run, then your muscles are going to feel a bit tight. And if you suddenly just pulled them to their end range, you know, that's going to cause problems. Take another inhale here, and then exhale, draw forward. If you wiggled that foot forward, just wiggle it back a little bit. Come back into that Anjaneyasana pose, and then stay here again, or if you'd like to, careful of that back knee, bend the foot, grab the foot, and then just work towards bringing the foot closer towards the sitting bones. One hand, two hands. If you need to kind of lean on that front leg, do that. Maybe lean on the side. Really think about the breath as well. Make sure it's a deep breath, it's a slow breath. Imagine as you breathe, the air going into the lungs, but then it's sending its energy, its oxygen all throughout the whole entire body. So think about the air, the oxygen traveling to those muscles. Take another inhale, and then exhale. Let that foot go without letting it flap. And then we're going to wiggle the left foot all the way to the left side of the mat. Keep the heel on the mat but the toes off, so it's at about a 45 degree. Right hand is in line with that left foot, but it's all the way over the other side of the mat. And then just going to come up, and you can rest your arm, your hand on that left leg, just gently opening it up, opening up the hip. You can stay here if that feels good, or if you would like to, you can bend that back knee. Left hand comes round, just grab the foot, and think about opening the chest. If you find that when you go to grab the back foot that you come like this, then perhaps grab a strap, wrap the strap around the foot so that you can open up, or perhaps just don't bend the back knee. Take one more inhale, and as you exhale, release the back foot, come back down, step that back foot, the front foot back, sorry, come back into that tabletop position, and then just for a second, loosen up the hips, do some circles, maybe draw back into child's pose, come forward, think about dropping the belly down and opening the chest, just a little extension in the back there. Yeah, just get that moving. And then when you're ready, just finish and sit back. So I do those poses every day after my morning walk, just so that my muscles and my legs don't kind of seize. So it's just a little bit of a stretch. Obviously we held them in a very static fashion, excuse me. If you want to, you can do them in more of a in and out. So you could come into your Anjaneyasana, and then you could just think about pulsing back and forward, back and forward. So if that felt a bit more good, there's always that option there. Make it your own. this is just a little guide for you to just give you little hints at what you could do. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that if you practice it, it feels good for you like it does for me. Thank you very much. Namaste.